You are listening to Verba Managed, where words do remain.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dearest peas. We are the cultured carrots serving up diversity on the plate. Welcome to the 7th episode of a new series that will accompany you all along the Mondays of March and April. A series that embraces the concept of multiculturalism in itself. Focusing on broad topics such as success, love relationships, family, or even death, we're bringing together people from all over the world from cultures that seemingly have nothing in common, yet united by common desires. For this 7th episode, we will focus on a notion that has been somewhat indirectly addressed in the last few episodes: growing up. Childhood, teenagehood, adulthood. We've been told time and time again that 18 is the magic number. The age where you become responsible for yourself, for your life choices. But is it really the case? Responsibility, autonomy, personality. What is really adulthood and the concept of growing up? From being someone's kids to becoming our own persons, we'll try to understand and observe how diverse perspectives can be on this topic. So to discuss all these questions, we are delighted to welcome with us today Zoe and Ariane. First of all, could you all start by telling us a bit more about yourself? Where do you come from? What is your background? And because of today's topic, your age. Would you like to start, Ariane?
Okay, my name is Ariane Perrin. I'm a first A. I'm half French, half Dutch, and I grew up in Kuala Lumpur and in Bangkok, so with no relations with my home countries. I'm 18 and I'm really happy to be here.
Hello, so my name is Zoe. I'm French from the north. I grew up in the north of France and I'm 20.
Amazing. So, in your own words, could you tell us what does it mean for you to grow up? Like, what is your definition of growing up in general?
Just a way to evolve in the time and being the same person but differently. Like
Okay.
you may have the same hobbies but you can practice them in a different way. Like for instance, when you're a young kid, if you love dancing, then your parents have to bring you to the school dance, and after, when you're a young adult, you can go by yourself and then you can enjoy talking with the other people and you can hang out with them.
Yeah, for me growing up is, as Zoe said, a evolving process, I guess. But I feel like I would give more importance to certain milestones that we might check as growing up. Like, for example, the definition of adulthood. I would say it's when you can be financially independent by yourself. And I think you are evolving as a person, but most importantly as a soul.
That's really poetic. I had a question that I reflected on quite a bit. It was like, are you what you thought you would have been when you were a kid? Like, for instance.
Absolutely not. When I was seeing people from 20 years old, for instance, I was thinking, wow, oh my god, they're so amazing. And now I am 20 and I don't know if I would have looked at me at the same way I've looked at the people. But maybe yes, maybe not. But I think I'm not the person I was expected to become. But I mean, I'm happy to be who I am. But
I didn't expect a lot growing up. Like, I didn't picture myself as being a nurse or being an astronaut like kids would do. I would just let things get along, and so I guess I'm not disappointed nor surprised. So I'm really actually happy where I am now, and I think I'll continue to evolve. So
Yeah, I was actually reflecting on the topic because I was thinking about all these kids that are saying, okay, like at 20, 22, I want to have like found the love of my life and have like settled with a job and kids. And now I see people around, I'm just like, well, it's not exactly what happened, And but I also feel to some extent that it's kind of evolving and that the kids nowadays realize that at 20 you're not supposed to have a job and kids because of like the normalization of studies in general. Like, it's a long process. But yeah, it's something like I was thinking about, and which was quite funny because when you realize having kids at 20 is just
Not possible.
not possible. Some people do it and they're very happy
Yeah.
with it, but it's just kind of weird.
I guess it depends on the culture as well,
Yeah.
because we're really European, so
Yeah, but also, I mean, probably they put more importance on family values and all in like some cultures. But it's becoming a world that is more and more internationalized, and so it's very often that people move for their studies or later on for their work and all. And I feel like in kind of every culture it's set up that now you need to be, as you said, like financially stable, and to be financially stable you need to have a job at some point before having kids. So I feel like it's not something in general that kids nowadays would think about, like the princess life with kids and all. But would you consider yourself as an adult right now?
I wouldn't personally. Like, I feel like I'm not financially stable, and this would be the key point of becoming an adult, because it means that you no longer need your parents to be behind you or like a family member to support you. And I think you're actually becoming an adult when you can be yourself alone without any like restrictions from other parts.
I would say yes, because for me, being an adult is not only being financially not dependent from your parents, it's also taking all the decisions you want to take. And a few months ago, with my parents, the relationship was very different. I don't know what is the point that made the thing change, but I mean, like last year, I had to ask the agreement from my parents. Like I had to ask to do something, but now I'm just telling them I'm going on holidays with my friend. I'm not asking them. So I mean, for me, it's the difference, and that kind of says that I am taking my own decision. So I'm an adult.
Yeah, it's a form of autonomy that you have that is like not financial autonomy, but it's still you are not asking permission for everything. I also felt that because like I'm 17 and every single day in my life I'm reminded by all the people that I'm a kid on this campus, because like I'm one of the youngest and sometimes there are people at 22, 23, so we have like a huge difference. And I'm every single day people keep reminding me like you're a kid because you're not 18, and it's like what I was saying in introduction, meaning like we always consider 18 as a magic number. And even in terms of like in legislations and all, like I'm autonomous at 17, I have my own apartment, I'm doing my own groceries, I'm for insurances, for everything I am alone because I'm living like very far from my parents. But in the law I cannot do anything being 17. It means that I had a huge problem, for instance, with like insurances because it needed to be at my name, but it couldn't because I was underage. And so it's like still this notion of after 18 you can do everything, but before you cannot do anything on your own. So I felt like there's I consider myself not an adult but as an autonomous person, because I honestly don't know what being an adult, like I don't have a definition of what being an adult is, to be honest. And I'm just like also sometimes scared of calling myself an adult because it means that you don't have anything behind you. Like of course you still have your family, but if like you are on your own in terms of all decision, in terms of finance and all, so you don't have any backup behind you, and so somehow I'm kind of scared of calling myself an adult. And so like I think till like 30 I will not call myself an adult, I'll just say like I'm an autonomous person from my parents and all. But yeah, I don't know if you experience the same of like the fear of adulthood in general and like being alone.
I think on this point, like Americans have a great word. I think the term teenager is quite good because it's not being an adult yet, and it's not being a child, and it lasts a lot longer than what we call in French adolescence. So I think we could relate more of to this part because we are not autonomous fully, like in terms of materials, but mentally, I think we are ready. So.
But I actually had this discussion not too long ago, and even in my mind when I use the name teenager, I have the French definition of what is it. And like the French definition is basically from what, like 12 to 15, 16 maximum. And so like I still have this definition, and like I was talking with people that were like being a teenager is being in your teens. Technically, at 19, 20, you're a teenager. And it's just not working in my mind. I'm just like, no, because I have this image of teenagers are also like associated with the idea of rebellion against your parents and kind of immaturity where you just like start to rebel against everything in the world. It's like this, it's a bit cliche, but it honestly happened to me a bit of like rebellion against my parents, but it's basically in middle school. I'm just like now in university, so I have a struggle with like labeling myself as a teenager because I still have the French definition and French concept in my mind, you know. But it's a bit different question, but then about like growing up, it's also getting older and older. And how do you feel about in general getting old, let's say, like after I always have this image of some people struggle to picture themselves as like 60 or 70, like even imagining themselves, not concretely, but just the principle of getting old. And sometimes people are even scared of it. Is it any of your case? Like,
I don't think it's scary. I think it's quite normal. And even if we can't picture ourselves like that, it's also because we don't imagine being that old. Like, we know it's coming, but we do not realize how fast it will come. I think the question of growing up, it's also the perception of time. Like, as a child, you think your days are really long and you do so much things in such a, like an hour, for example, you can do so much more activities. Whereas now, I feel like what struck me is the length of the time. It changes as you grow up, and I guess it's different now. It's really quick, and I feel like we should grasp every occasion that we have.
I feel like when I was younger, I was not really scared, but I'm going to become an adult one day. And now it's very different. I was talking with my friend last time because we just turned 20 like 2 weeks ago for me, and we were thinking that, oh my god, we are 20 now, and we were thinking of becoming 40, 30, and it's not that scary as it was before. I mean, when you grow up, then I don't know how to say that, but the perception change, and the most, like, when you grow after, I mean, it's not scary to grow anymore. I don't know if I'm clear,
but I mean, it's something that must resonate also a lot in like your perception, because so in the campus we have 2 years in Le Havre, and then it's like over basically because we all go in very different destinations for 3A and all. And I know like it's a very tough time for a lot of people, because at the same time one days I'm realizing, oh gosh, we've done half of it, and it's like very hard, especially in COVID times, but that's something else. But because we have the feeling we did not really enjoy as much as we could, and also because we feel like it's been 1 year, and sometimes I feel like I've been there for 1 month. And even like I was talking with 2A, and they were like, we're living in like a month, and yeah, it's something we must not talk on campus because it's making everyone sad. But like time is getting so fast, and I think that's also where fear lies sometimes, because we realize how fast it can go.
Yeah, I think that we are scared of growing up because we are scared that time will pass faster and faster, and when we're like 70, in just a snap of fingers, we'll be dead.
Yeah.
And also ending the 2 years in Havre means that you're kind of becoming an adult when you are living abroad alone. That's really scary, and especially when you're doing an internship, because you're not in the university mood anymore. And then you go to the master in Paris, the master degree, and this is really scary too.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone can relate to that. And also there's the importance of the feeling of nostalgia in it, because I don't know about you, but I'm a very, very nostalgic person, and like I'm always in the mood of like, oh, remembering every memories. I'm just like, in 1 year it's over, like I will still have contact with people here, but they will not be around me. And even though like I know it will be amazing in the future, I'm just like, but it was already amazing in the past, and I want to come back in it. I want to live it again. I want like moments to last very much longer. And so I think nostalgia is something that is not nice in our life.
I would agree that memory is the most problematic factor here, because we are scared of forgetting, but we are also scared of being too nostalgic, which makes us more and more nostalgic. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a never-ending cycle.
That's not a really nice touch to end, but thank you Zoe and Aryan for this very interesting discussion on like the notion of growing up and how we can conceptualize it through time. And thank you listeners for tuning in. This was brought to you by Cultured Carrots of the Verbermannen podcast. Thank you to the writers Madeline and Cam and the producer Isabella. Remember to tune in next Monday for more episodes of the Cultured Carrots on multiculturalism, and take care.